We're back, and as promised, we are doing the second half of the show, and this is an interactive section, or segment rather, where we are actually outside, and Philip is going to. I'm here with Philip Davis from Eden Farming, and remember we talked about his blending of art and farming, and I like to call it artscape, landscape, artscape, farmscape. Here is this wonderfully beautiful planter that he has made. He has painted it for me wonderfully. He knew he was coming to an art studio, so he rendered this beautiful planter for me in my favorite color, blue. So, Philip, let's talk about this farming, this planter, and what's in it. I have my tools, ladies and gentlemen. I love tools, and I kind of like digging in the dirt as well. So Philip is going to guide me on how I should maintain this planter, what kinds of vegetables and fruits are in this planter. And so, yeah, let's take it away.
All right, so what we have here is a 4x2 planter box. It's a foot deep. So the reason why we did a foot deep is so that in case you wanted to do crops like your carrots or tomatoes or anything like that, they require a little bit more depth of soil. The rest of your vegetables, you're really dealing with about 3 foot to 6 feet of, not 6 feet, 6 inches of soil for their root development. So basically what we're doing with this, just like I was stating about the Junkanoo, you have to make sure that it's functioning first.
Right.
So we deal with functionality before beauty. Now, since we got the structure put together, you can move around, you can shake it, you can drop it, it won't break or anything. Then we look at doing all the aesthetics and stuff on the outside to make sure it's beautiful and everything for you.
So just to help out the audience, how did you put the box together? And it's plywood. So you were explaining to me you have, because it looks like it's not breathable, the plants are not going to breathe,
Right.
and so on. So can you explain to us what's actually in the box? I don't know if we can bring it a little closer so that we can sort of get the essence of the box.
All right, so what we have here, it looks like a regular planter box, but this is actually some of the new age technology. A lot of people have moved away from rudimentary into the ground. They're doing raised beds, but they've even gone into doing grow bags.
Okay.
So what the grow bags does is it does the aeration for you. It allows in more oxygen into the soil and everything so that you have a healthier plant. So how this box is actually set up, I have the planks of wood at the bottom, leaving about 2 inches or 3 inches gaps in between each one with the fabric liner on it, and then the soil is in it. So what that allows is for your proper drainage of the water to go through, but then it also allows that oxygen to seep up and in.
Right.
All right. So inside this particular planter box, what we have are our 2 mints on the ends. We got spearmint and peppermint. Coming further in, we've got our tomatoes, we've got the cucumbers, we've got the parsley. In front of that, we've got our onion chives, and these are things. The onion chives are something that you'll buy from the food store once and never again.
Okay.
Because what you're going to do is you're going to come in here, crop up, harvest it from right there, and it'll grow right back within 2 weeks.
And
All right.
notice, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes when you purchase those chives in the grocery store, they actually have the root on them already. So you can just take that root and put it in the ground and create your own plant.
That is absolutely correct. In the front corners, we've got our blue dwarf kale. Directly in the front, we put in the beet seeds. Those seeds will come up. This will add in your colors and stuff at the end because they're going to have the nice red reaching arms and stuff going out to contrast in with the rest of your green plants in the back. Then we've got our carrot seeds that just popped up in between there. All right. Now, once again, just the same way that we do artwork. You're going to paint your back scenery first, and then you're going to put on all the details and stuff in the front.
Right.
Same thing in a planter box. As you can see, this is in the morning, sun's over there, it's coming this way. So we put our taller plants in the back.
Right.
So it's not going to block any of the sun or the UV rays that'll go over to your plants. All right, so once these grow up, These will be nice, and you'll have a nice background to all of your smaller plants in the front, and it's just like a scenery that you painted on the canvas.
Absolutely. Now, I know in our discussion you were talking about some plants prefer more direct sunlight as opposed to some others.
Right.
Lettuce and so forth
Right.
doesn't necessarily need that heavy sunlight to grow.
Yeah, lettuce and other leafy greens, the delicate ones, they actually don't like temperatures above 80, 85 degrees.
Okay.
So something like this will cause them to go to bolt. And what bolt is it changes the plant from a female to a male.
Ooh.
And it becomes bitter.
Ah.
All right.
Cool.
So that's what ends up happening.
So in terms of maintenance of this box now, because when you leave here, I have to maintain this. And I've been told I don't necessarily have a green thumb. But you have said to me to come out and check the moisture level in the plant. Now, obviously, I am wearing gloves today because of the show.
I'll
but
demonstrate it for you.
I want to do it.
Okay.
I've taken off the glove, and
So the technique is up to your second knuckle on your finger. You're going to stick your finger in. If you can feel the moisture at the tip of your finger,
so you can't have nails on, ladies.
all right? At the tip of your finger, if you can feel the moisture after you've gone to your second knuckle, you know that there's sufficient water inside the soil for your plants.
I'm going to put my gloves back on.
If your finger becomes dry, then you know that you require a lot more water inside your planter bed.
And you shouldn't necessarily water every day.
No, because it has to be a perfect balance in between your water content and your oxygen. All right, because if you have too much water in there and it's not going out, then you're dealing anaerobically and you'll get root rot and your plants will die.
I see. So you stick your finger in.
Yep, so your finger goes into about the second notch.
Uh-huh.
And then once you come out, if you can feel moisture or not, then you'll know exactly how well your soil is. Okay?
I can feel a little moisture on
It's
this.
slightly moisture, but
We're going to put some water on this today just for purposes to show people.
how to do the proper watering technique.
Right, there's a watering technique too.
So before we get into that, you were talking about not having a green thumb.
Uh-huh.
When we mix the soil to put in, I'm an organic farmer, so I don't like to use any of the chemicals and stuff like that. I
Right.
go for the most organic products,
Okay.
okay? So I amended the soil. I put this
garden
inside of
tone.
this. Yep.
And this can be found at any of the...
Any of the garden stores.
Right.
All right, they should have this. They'll have them in different styles and stuff like that, okay? The three numbers that you'll see on it is your nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate. So like I was saying, the fertilizer inside of here, that will maintain this for your fertilizer for at least 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all the plant food and stuff that you need.
Okay.
Now, before I give you the hose, I'll show you what we do is we get the hose tip as close to the dirt as possible. And we're spraying the water not too hard that it comes up, because what the dirt does, the dirt is actually what gives your plants the diseases and stuff when you're watering.
Did you hear that? It's the dirt on the plant leaves that cause disease. So try not to spray from way up, but actually go down.
Especially tomato plants. Tomato plants, they get the biggest diseases and stuff from when you get the dirt on their leaves. They do not like that whatsoever. So what we're doing right here is we're not disturbing any of the roots. We're not disturbing any of the foliage on the leaves or anything. Also, why we're not getting the leaves wet right now is we're probably about 10 o'clock in the morning or so. The intensity of the sun is in between that 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock period of the day. So if we get the leaves wet, what we're doing is pretty much putting a magnifying glass on the leaves and they're going to get burnt out. All right? And you're wondering why you did something good. You watered your plants, yes, but at the wrong time of the day. And with the intensity of the sun, it's going to burn out your leaves and you're going to find out that your garden is looking bad.
So is it better to water in the evening?
In the evening, it's pros and cons to everything. Watering in the evenings, what ends up happening, you'll find that you have snails and other bugs that'll come out. Yeah, exactly. They're looking for that moisture. The moisture will be on the leaves and in the garden. They get in there, they start to sample certain things. They let the rest of their crew know. Next minute, you know, you got a nightclub of snails carrying on bad in your garden. All right?
Okay.
Me, preferably, what I would do, I would water the plants around about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's before the intensity of the sun is coming up.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
just like an athlete. What they want to do is you want to consume, especially like if you're a marathon runner, you're going to drink water heavily for 2 days before the actual event because you don't want to be running your marathon thinking you have to pee straight through or anything
Right,
like
right.
that. So you're going to prepare yourself. Just
Okay.
be ready for it.
All right.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I'm supposed to take care of this garden for the next 4 months.
Uh-huh.
And I should be able to eat a good salad from here. I should be able to have a nice mojito from the spearmint.
Oh, we can have one now if you
Oh,
want.
we could have some spearmint. we could have some spearmint off of here now. And that's the other kind of mint. That's
Peppermint.
Peppermint.
Uh-huh.
And certainly I can have some
Parsley.
parsley now to garnish my meal. And as soon as these come up a little bit, I should be able to have those as well to eat. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the essence of backyard garden provided by Eden Farms. If you are interested in contacting Mr. Davis, how do we contact you?
I'm on Facebook, Eden Farming Club, or Philip Davis Jr., or I'm not afraid to give out my number, 426-8037. Once again, that's 426-8037. Send me a text, send me a WhatsApp. Make sure you leave your information. And basically what I do is I come and scope out your space of the yard, see exactly what you want, and then working with you, we implement exactly what you need, what you eat and stuff like that, and possibly a couple other things to introduce you to, and then you start your sustainable living.
Wonderful. So Mr. Davis is not done yet. We are done with the show, but he's not done in my garden or in my yard yet because he's getting ready to plant all kinds of wonderful things in here for me. I already have all kinds of fruits and vegetables. I've lived by the mantra that you plant food rather than ornamental plants. And so I have a ton of different things I can eat in my yard. So thank you for watching Via Mela Art House and so Conversations with Sophia. We'll see you next time.